Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. When the detail emerged that the Kalamazoo shooting was carried out by an Uber driver, one of the first thoughts I had was of the movie Taxi Driver. If you haven't seen my earliest videos, one of the first videos I did was on the movie Taxi Driver, just educating about the coding within films of numerology and gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. In this video, what I want to show you is the parallels between the movie Taxi Driver and the Kalamazoo Uber driver shooting. Taxi Driver came out February 8th, 1976. The movie stars Robert De Niro. He's a 26-year-old man named Travis Bickle who's trying to find his place in this world, a world that he is disgusted by. Numerous times throughout the movie, he communicates how much the people around him disgust him. There's a scene where he gets in the cab with the man running for president, and he asks the man running for president to figure out a way to flush the people of this world down the toilet. The presidential candidate doesn't know exactly how to respond to that, but he tells him, "I think I know what you're saying." Anyhow, this movie came out in February, and it's set in the time of a presidential race. Think about how the Kalamazoo Uber driver shooting happened in February in the year of the presidential race. Let's go through the other major parallels, but let's first establish what's significant about the release date of the film. It came out February 8th, 1976, a date with 105 numerology. Zionism and Masonry both equal 105 in gematria. Remember, it's the Masons and Zionists who control the media, who control Hollywood, who control our government, and always have. This is also a release date with a 33 numerology, a number very important to the Masons and Zionists. It's a date with 86 numerology. The words symbol, triangle, and pyramid all equal 86. De Niro's character from Taxi Driver, very symbolic. A lot of posters and pictures out there with that character, Travis Bickle. The film released on the 39th day of the year. It's set in New York. New York has gematria of 39. New York was established on a date with 39 numerology. The United Nations there is 39 floors tall. So many things in New York are coded 39 and its reflection 93. NYC for New York City also has gematria of 42. The numbers 39 and 42 share a relationship in gematria. When they're written out as words, 39 and 42 both sum to 142. 142 and 42 are important numbers in the Kalamazoo shooting, as we've been talking about. Taxi Driver in gematria, Pythagorean gematria, equals 58. 58, a very important number to Freemasonry. Freemasonry equals 58. The date of the Uber driver shooting happened on a date with 58 numerology, and remember, he was arrested at Shakespeare's pub having gematria of 58. Taxi Driver with the V exception adds 18 more. Taxi Driver with the V exception equals 76, like the year the film was released. In simple English gematria, taxi equals 54, driver equals 76, again like the year of the film. The film stars Robert De Niro, directed by Martin Scorsese. Both men are Jews. The film runs 113 minutes or an hour and 53. Remember, the number 153, kind of like an hour and 53, comes from the Bible. It's the miraculous catch, and it's a number that's often paired with 42. Notice that the word fish in Jewish gematria equals 113, and in simple English gematria, 42. In the miraculous catch of the Bible, it's 153 fish. And I want to show you something about 153. When you write it out as a word, 153, it has gematria of 113. The reason I'm making this point is because all of these numbers share a relationship, 153, 113, and 42, and 42 was the most heavily coded number in the Kalamazoo shooting. Real quick, Kalamazoo on the 42nd parallel, they said it was the 42nd mass shooting of 2016, a shooting that took place on the 51st day of the year. So 51 days into the year, already 42 mass shootings supposedly according to the media. The main character in the film, played by De Niro, again, is named Travis Bickle. Notice that Travis is a name with 26 gematria, and in the film, he's 26 years old. 26 is the God number in gematria. The word God, when written out, sums to 26 in gematria. The English alphabet's 26 letters. Also in the Hebrew alphabet, their word God also has gematria of 26, giving you a clue as to who created our language. Travis Bickle, with the S exception, sums to 59, the kill number in Jewish gematria. Jason equals 59. Jason is the name of the Uber driver in Kalamazoo. Uber driver, 59. Jason, 59. Travis Bickle, 59. At the end of the film, what happens is Robert De Niro's character, who's disgusted with the people of this world, there's a night where a young girl gets in his cab, and a pimp comes and yanks her back out of the car. And the pimp throws in a crumpled $20 bill, which is a lot of money for the time, and tells him not to worry about it. And De Niro's character is kind of thinking like, I wonder what that was about. Well, later he meets this girl, and he finds out that she's just a young girl. She's 12 years old, and it just adds to his hatred for humanity. So he starts researching more about this pimp, and at the end of the film, what he does is he plots to kill the pimp, the hotel manager where she's tricked out at, and he ends up also killing a customer who's with the 12-year-old Jodie Foster, the girl who's being pimped out in the movie. What stands out is the address where he does the killing is 226. This is a number that I have seen put before my eyes doing this research hundreds of times. I know it is a number of great significance. I do not fully understand what it means. WritingTheBeast.com has a write-up on it, and they say this is a number very important to the Satanists. In the satanic religion, this is a very spiritual and important number. I do notice that it's the number 113 multiplied by 2. I don't know if that is a coincidence or part of the connection, but it is the number where Robert De Niro does the murdering in this film. And also in New York's history, in 1993, there was the World Trade Center bombing on the date February 26th. The movie Falling Down came out on that day. Think about how the World Trade Centers would fall down a little more than 8 years later. So check this out. Jodie Foster, who was 12 years old truly when this movie was filmed, Jodie Foster in gematria equals 54, just like the word taxi equals 54. We're talking about the movie Taxi Driver. She was born November 19th, 1962, a date with numerology of 111, corresponding with New York. New York equals 111 in simple English gematria, 39 Pythagorean. Last year in spring training, I said the Mets would be in the World Series because New York equals 111. You learn this gematria language, you learn to see what's really going on in this world because the people who run it practice this religiously. At the end of the film, you get this shot of De Niro's license plate on his car. Notice the license plate, 1759 Ti. What stands out about this is in Pythagorean gematria, kill equals 17, and in Jewish gematria, kill equals 59. De Niro turns into a killer at the end of the film. If you add 17 plus 59, you get 76, like the year the film was released, like Driver equals 76. And if you just add it up with the numbers and turn the letters into numbers using Pythagorean gematria, T's the 20th letter, it becomes 2, I's the 9th. If you add it up, it sums to 33. Sometimes it could be a coincidence, but probably not in this case. These numbers are strategically chosen. In the film, one of the first numbers you see is 74. De Niro walks by a cab with number 74 on it. Masonic equals 74. These are all numbers they love to put before our eyes. In the beginning of the film, when De Niro is applying to be a cab driver, he lets the man hiring him know that he was honorably discharged from the military on May 19th, 1973. May 19th is the 139th day of the year. Freemasonry equals 139 the big way, 58 the small way. And again, taxi driver equals 58. The numerology of the date he was discharged is a date with 116 numerology. Country equals 116. He's part of the nation's military. Discharged on a date with 44 numerology. Military equals 44. So does kill. Also a date with 35 numerology. Travis equals 35 with the S exception. And a point I meant to make earlier is one of the earliest numbers you hear spoken about in the film. Remember, the film's called Taxi Driver. Taxi Driver equals 58. In the beginning of the film, when he's applying, you hear the radio man calling out to the cabbies, "Take the car to 58th Street." Right off the bat. Learn this language of gematria. You see, it's no joke. Someone also commented after I did my video on The Witness. They said, hey, that name Norberto DeRuit, who supposedly saw the Uber driver get arrested at Shakespeare's pub, he said that name reminded him of Robert De Niro. And I see it. It is kind of a re-scrambling of the letters from Robert De Niro. Notice that the arrest was at 241 East Kalamazoo. That's the number 142 in reverse. Remember, 142 coded into this story. When you write out 42, it sums to 142. Kalamazoo's on the 42nd parallel. They said the shooter was driving a Chevrolet HHR, gematria of 142, just like the word terrorist. You know, and this story is meant to scare. Don't forget, the original definition of terrorism is government by intimidation. They said this arrest took place at 1240, the same numbers, re-scrambled. All of these hoaxes are this way when you pay attention to the numbers. As for the 113 coding, remember the film runs at an hour and 53 or 113 minutes. No motive equals 113. A hallmark of all these hoaxes, there's never a motive. Mainstream equals 113. Dishonest equals 113. Scottish, as in Scottish Rite Freemasonry, equals 113. Bava Kama 113a says a Jew can circumvent a Gentile by lying to them. Think about that in light of the word dishonest. The word perjury also equals 113. The police chief for this shooting hoax was Chief Jeff Hadley, name gematria of 113. Small waist 77, like police department, police officer. Numbers we routinely see coded into the hoaxes. So that's pretty much all of it, Truth Seeker. If only they would have gave the Uber driver this haircut, then we would definitely know. But in light of it being February, presidential election, and what we know about history, it seems fair to say that the Uber driver hoax is in part a tribute to the movie Taxi Driver. All right, until next time, Truth Seeker.